Hello lovely viewers, you're welcome to today's tutorial. So today I want to share with you how I make my fondants in large quantity and store them for a longer time. This is very much important because it's going to make your work less stressful for you. Like me myself, I'm a mother of two, so I have a lot in my hands. Making my fondant in large quantity saves me a lot of stress, and not only that, it makes my one fondant much more perfect for me to work with and makes me know the consistency of my fondant. It helps me to know the condition of my fondant. Yes, that is the right word. It helps me to know the condition of my fondant when I need to use it. Okay, so I have another fondant video I made in my channel. I have a fondant video I made in my channel, and I made some little changes. I made changes like I used a different Tylose powder from this. I used a different Tylose powder from this. So my reason is this Tylose powder is very super active, and once I make a mistake of adding excess to my fondant, this Tylose powder to my fondant, it hardens my fondant and makes it too stiff to stick to my cake, and I find it very difficult to even use the fondant. Sometimes it wastes the fondant, you understand, and I might not really even use it again. So I decided to use a different Tylose powder. You will see it. That one is mild. Even if I make a mistake of adding excess of that one to my fondant, it doesn't really affect my fondant. Okay, this one is perfect for rainy season. I usually use this during the rainy season. It's definitely very perfect because of its activeness. Because rainy season is usually the very humid season. Yeah, it's a very humid season. So this one is perfect for it. And my gum paste. So this is one of the changes I made with this one. I hope my viewers in that other video come across this. I would really be happy because they really need to view this one. I made some few changes, and another changes I made was I used a greaseline. Yeah, you know what it does to your fondant? It keeps your fondant very lively, especially when you know you're making your fondant for keep for a longer time. It makes your fondant lively. When you don't have greaseline in your fondant, you know what it does? It dries out your fondant. Your fondant dries up. When you want to massage it, it becomes a very huge stress for you. In fact, if you remember you have to make cake with fondant, you get scared because of the stress you need to go through massaging it. But greaseline keeps it lively and moisturized. Whenever you pick it up, it looks hard. You see, my fondant looks hard. It sounds very hard. But whenever you pick it up to use it, you just give it a little massage and it answers you immediately. So this is the second change I made. So please, if you are my viewer and you've watched my previous fondant video, you're coming across this, be patient to watch this as well because I made some few changes. Okay, so most importantly, why you need to make your fondant in large quantity and store is, especially during the rainy season, you need this, because during the rainy season the weather is very humid and you can't just make fondant within 2 days and use it. Oh my goodness, your fondant will sweat, your cake will sweat. So you need a fondant that has been stored for a little time, at least a week, 5 days, 1 week, perfectly 2 weeks or more. Yes, you need fondant like that is already dried. All the materials that have been used are already dried and calmed. It's going to be a very good one for you. And another thing is, at this space of time, especially during this humid season, it will help you when you want to work. You bring out your fondant and check if the condition of that fondant is okay for you to work with. But when you don't have it on ground, you see, it's going to ruin your work. Here are the items that I will be using. This is my gelatin powder, Tylose powder, greaseline. Here are the both icing sugar I will be mixing up. Each icing sugar is 1 kg, so the both is 2 kg, and I will be mixing them up at once. Here is my measuring spoon, which is half teaspoon. I couldn't find my 1 tablespoon and my 1 teaspoon, so I will be measuring with my half teaspoon. Here is my 1.4 cup for my water measurement. So quickly I will measure 2 of my 1.4 cup of water into my plate, which is approximately half cup. So if you have your half cup, just measure half cup of water. So you can see me measuring water into a different plate. I'm just getting ready for the next batch of fondant mixing. So I'll measure 4 half teaspoon of gelatin powder into my plate. This is approximately 1 tablespoon. If you have your 1 tablespoon, then just measure 1 tablespoon of gelatin powder, and then shake it up a little bit. Don't shake much so that it doesn't split all around your plate. Then you cover it up and allow it to settle for like 15 to 20 minutes. So while we wait for our gelatin to get ready and set, quickly I'll blend my remnant of icing sugar in my blender to get them powdered again, because they are stiff and rumpled already. But I'm not going to be taking you all through the journey of blending and measuring. I measured 20 cups of icing sugar. 20 cups of icing sugar. Remember, in my other video I told you that when it comes to fondant making, that measurement of icing sugar and Tylor's powder differs. Maybe because of the weather at that moment, sometimes your liquid measurement, you might make a little mistake. Sometimes it might not be accurate with your liquid measurement, and then your measurement of icing sugar have to change at that moment. So but bear this in mind whenever you want to make 1 kg of icing sugar. Bear in mind of 10 cups of icing sugar. 10 cups. Sometimes it might just take 8.5 cups of icing sugar, sometimes 9 cups, and sometimes it takes all of the 10 cups. But have 10 cups ready with you, and then you can scoop out 2 cups aside and mix the rest while you add your remnant of 2 cups bit by bit. Let's continue. We are going to see what I mean here. So why, after measuring 20 cups of my icing sugar, I scooped out 2 cups aside, remaining 18 cups in my bowl. Yep. So right here I'm going to complete the rest of this measurement and sieving behind the camera so that we can proceed to something else. Here is my little water in the saucepan. I'll quickly place it on fire, and with my gelatin plate in it, I'll quickly scoop in 14 tablespoons of liquid glucose into my gelatin. I forgot to display my glucose syrup alongside with other items from the beginning of the video. Pardon me for that, please. So I'll scoop in 14 tablespoons of liquid glucose. I like to use my metal spoon. That is because it's less stressful for me. So why you want to use metal spoon, go for the smaller spoons. Don't go for the largest or the large ones. Now bear this in mind why you want to melt these 2 items. Don't allow the water in your saucepan or in your pot to boil. Reason is, if you allow the water in your saucepan or in your pot to boil, you will have a stiff fondant when you're done making your fondant. The fondant will become stiff. It will not be soft, kind of silk and free. And yes, it will not be free to collect more icing sugar. So this is when you have to use lesser icing sugar. So exactly, it will make you use lesser icing sugar, and it will leave you with stiff fondant at the end of your fondant making. So don't allow the water to boil. When it wants to boil, you either lower down your gas cooker or you turn it off, and after some seconds you turn it on again. That is it. Now, to know that these 2 items is ready to use, they become very light, very liquid, very liquid. Okay, yes, they are thick base item, but it will be very light, a kind of thick and light. That is it. Remember to turn them once in a while. Don't just leave them on the fire. Come once in a while to turn them until you see that consistency of lightness, and then you know it is ready. And now our mixture is ready. So I'll quickly measure a tablespoon of glycerin into it and stir it properly, then bring down from fire and allow it to cool. Now, to know if this 2 item is okay and cool or ready to use, dip in your finger into it and allow your finger to be into it for like some seconds. If you could endure the warmness or the hotness, then it's ready. If it's too hot for you, It's not okay. Allow it to get a little bit cold again, not too cold. If you use too cold or too hot, you will also end up with a stiff fondant. Your fondant will be stiff and it will not collect much icing sugar. So bear this in mind. You allow it to get just warm, not too hot and not too cold. Yes. So I'll mix up my fondant till it forms a thick dough. So once it forms a thick dough, I split it into two different parts and handle them differently. This way it helps me to achieve what I really want with my fondant without any kind of mistake. I also add Tylor's powder differently to the both of them. On each split, I add 2.5 tablespoons of Tylor's powder, together making it 5 tablespoons. So I handle them differently. I add the icing sugar until I get what I want with my fondant. Now don't add your Tylor's powder all at the same time. You can use teaspoon or you can use 1 tablespoon at a time. So but remember 2.5 tablespoons. And then you can add your remnant of icing sugar that you have scooped out bit by bit till you've gotten what you want. Now, to know if your fondant is ready, your fondant will not be sticky to your kneading surface or sweaty on your palms. Your fondant will be soft, yes, very silk, yes, but not wetty or sweaty on your palms or sticky to your kneading surface. It might be a little, just a little of kind of not sticky, just gummy, but not much. Okay, bear this in mind, not much. So add enough icing sugar till you no longer feel that wetness or stickiness on your palm and on your kneading surface. In this way, you know that your fondant is ready. So once you're done kneading and making the both parts together, then you can mesh them together and massage both of them together and wrap it up with a plastic bag and store in your tight container. Now bear this in mind, fondant is sugar and almost all the item that is used in making it is also sugar based items, so it's quite hard for fondant to go bad easily. Your fondant can last as long as 3 months or more than, especially when you store them in white without coloring it. So don't color your fondant when you're done making it. Leave it to be white. When you get an order, you color it like 3 days ahead or 2 days ahead of your order. Okay, so in this way your fondant will last as long as 3 months or more. So that is it. Don't forget to like this video, drop me a kind comment. If you have a question, also drop your question. I will gladly answer you. If you're yet to subscribe, importantly, please do subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell to be part of the family so that you can always be notified whenever I drop a new video. For my returning subscribers, I appreciate you guys a lot. Thank you. You guys are amazing. You guys are really amazing. So I'm mixing up my second round of my fondant, though I will not make the video to the end or even to the third part, but I was able to make 6 kg of icing sugar within 2 hours plus. Sometimes I make 10 kg within 2 hours plus as well, or 2 hours 30 minutes. So that is it for this tutorial, guys, and I know that this video will be of help to a lot of people. Thank you guys and bye bye. See you in my next video.